Kaiser de Bello Gallico, Book 6, Chapter 16, Omnis Natio, subject phrase, the whole nation of the Gauls is ad modum, adverbial use, very much given. Now, has been given, I think, is a better way, but is given is like is divisa est, is divided in the beginning. So I think is given to religion, to sacred things. And on account of this cause, they are greatly affected, those who are greatly affected by ablative cause, by grave diseases, and who are engaged in wars or battles, proelium war battles, and dangers. Either they sacrifice men for victims, or they vow that they will sacrifice, understood them. Indirect statement clause after vow, say is the accusative subject phrase, emolutoros would be the predicate of the indirect statement clause. You supply essay. And they takes the ablative as the object phrase. The Druids as performers, predicative here, to these sacrifices, because they think unless the life of a man is given, this is an indirect question clause, for the life of a man, the divine will of the immortal gods would not be able to otherwise be placated. Oh my goodness. And they have sacrifices of this kind, of this same kind, having been instituted publicly. Others have images, oh my goodness, of a vast magnitude. So in other words, others have objects, images of a vast magnitude, the limbs of which, having been woven together by wicker, they fill with living beings. This is the wicker man, big man made of wicker, and you fill it with human beings. So therefore, which, having been set on fire, the men are killed by having been surrounded by flames. Oh, immolation. They think that supplicia, punishments or offerings of these kind, which might be taken in theft or in robbery or in any culpable act, are more acceptable to the immortals. All right? So therefore, they consider, ooh, that's pretty cool. Dative here, reference, as always, to the immortal gods. But when a supply of this kind is lacking, when they don't have enough thieves, even then they descend to the sacrifices of the innocent. Oh my goodness. Let's go back through this. So, Caesar says in chapter 16 that the whole nation of Gaul is given to religions or religious beliefs. Very much so. Now, this parallels the first book of the Gallic Wars, where he says in the first chapter that all Gaul is divided into three parts. He's saying all Gaul is not only divided into three parts, but they're also all given to religious beliefs. And on account of this cause, those who are affected by serious diseases, who are engaged in battles and in dangers. So therefore, if you've got a problem, you need to sacrifice some men for victims. Oh my goodness. Or they vow that they would sacrifice them. Now, it could be that they would sacrifice themselves. I don't know about that one. It's a tough one. So that they're going to immolate, nice word, sacrifice by burnt offering for men, for victims, or that they would going to do it. If I don't have it, I'm going to promise them to do it. And they use the Druids as performers for these sacrifices. Why are they doing it? Because they think this is the reason. If you're sick or if you're going to go into war, you have some dangers. Unless, indirect question clause I hear, the life of a man is given for the life of a man, the divine will of the immortal gods will not be able. This is therefore, this is what they think, indirect question clause, with an indirect statement clause. The divine will would not able to be placated, complements, infinitive. And they have sacrifices of the same kind instituted by public authority, so therefore publicly. Others have, so therefore they say we're going to burn you up. So we have some and we have others. Others have huge images with huge size, ablative of respect, perhaps, ablative of description, the members of which are having been formed by wicker, osiers, but wicker. They fill with living beings, ablative of manner, I think. With whom, having been set on fire, the men. So this would be, what's this referring to? Probably the membra here. They light the big wicker man on fire. The men are killed, having been surrounded by flames, ablative cause. So they think that the punishments of those who may be taken in theft, they think that it's a good punishment for those who were thieves or robbers or in any way were culpable, are more acceptable to the immortal gods. Just like the Romans would put together public executions, but here the Druids were even talking about theft and robbery. And when a supply of this sort of robbers were lacking, they even also descend to the sacrifices of the innocent. Well, Caesar gives a nice description here, very bloody, very fiery, very graphic, and one that was sure to make his Roman counterparts very happy that Caesar has taken care of things, because, they used to be in war all the time and they used to sacrifice people, and, well, the Romans don't do that. Actually, the Romans did that quite a lot. There's a fair number of human sacrifices found later in the reign of Augustus. So it's oftentimes very similar, given as an example, comparison and contrast. But oftentimes you see that the Romans aren't that far from the Gauls as they would like to think they are. Next chapter, chapter 17.